What's going on, guys? It's Cheesy, and we are coming back again for another Sunday breakdown. It's been a minute. Last couple weekends been pretty busy. Last couple weeks, not a videos uploaded, but we're back. We're back on the grind. We're back to make videos for you guys, and we're hoping you guys are enjoying that. So, without any further ado, let's just get into it. This weekend's the German Grand Prix, and let's get straight into it. It was a fun one, so let's roll the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be coming here for the Sunday breakdown to be talking about the Eifel Grand Prix. In case you guys didn't watch it, this is the recap, and this is all you guys will want to know about the weekend. Unfortunately, we didn't get a lot of free practice, but things did spice up later on, which we can never complain about, because F1 racing has to get interesting sometimes, you guys know, and we love it when it does get spicy out there. So that's what happened this weekend. So heading into the ideas of just FP1, FP2. So FP1 and FP2 were canceled. It was horrible track conditions, foggy, rainy, and then the safety helicopter could not commute in time if there was an accident. So safety precautions that are necessary for the drivers, for the driver safety. So I know that sounds a little bit redundant, but that's what's going on. And as a fan of the sport, you're disappointed to see it, but also you want to make sure that the drivers stay safe. And we're definitely happy that they stayed safe during the first two practice sessions. Practice 3, just going to be going through the top 3. It's Valtteri Bottas sitting fastest, nothing surprising there. Lewis Hamilton behind him, and then Charles Leclerc behind him. So nothing too surprising there, except for the Ferrari, and everyone was just getting in a groove. Usually that was like the FP1 there, and it's just interesting that you just don't have two practice sessions with a new track. So that was different. Heading on to qualifying now, moving our way up. So it did get interesting because you had a lot of diversity in the top 10. You had a Ferrari in the top 10, and you have the Renault being competitive, Albon being competitive. So we'll move down from the back. A note about this weekend, the Hulk was back. So Lance Stroll was not feeling well, and it was not COVID. He said that it was like he was having an intense bowel movement, I guess you would call it, and that led to an issue that he could not race. So Nico got the call around 7 o'clock, I think. He headed over there, and he raced. So that was that. Unfortunately, he didn't qualify too well. Of course, he set a 128 basically flat, so behind the rest of the grid by a solid 2 seconds, but that's what you expect. He came out there, and the fact that he's 2 seconds behind them is just incredible. The pace that he can create just in that short amount of time. So props to him. I really want to see him there next year. Kimi 19th, Latifi 18th, Russell 17th, Grosjean 16th, and Magnussen 15th. So this was one of the few times that you see Gio get out of qualifying 1. This is slightly in part to Nico helping him out there, staying at the back, but you also do have to understand that he did have the pace, and he was able to put the time in and get out of FP1 with just a small margin between everybody else, which is good for him. You're happy for him, and happy that he was able to get through. So going down now into FP2, you have or not FP2, qualifying 2. So Q2, you have Magnussen in the Haas setting the 15th time. So he's in 15th place. Gio is in 14th. So you see him moving up. So 14th place is not a horrible spot for Alfa Romeo. It's actually pretty good considering how Ferrari's doing this year and how their last line team would be doing. So props to Giovinazzi for doing his work and putting in the effort. They're 13th, 12th, 13th you have Kvyat, and 12th you have Gasly. So 12-13 for the AlphaTauri Honda team, and setting a 126.7, 126.8. So not great times there, but also you don't expect them to have all the pace that you want to see in one of the top tier cars, as they are a midfield car right now. And then Vettel setting a 126.7, so second faster than Gasly in Q2, but only making it into 11th place, so not making out of Q2 to Q3. So sad to see Seb not do well, but it's his last year there. We know that he's a GOAT. I would say that I wouldn't say he is. I would say he's great. He isn't greatest of all time, but he is great. He's third best maybe. If you look at statistics, my preference, I don't know where he stands. I'll probably create a podcast clip on that. But he is incredible driver. He has the mental place for it, and he has next year hopefully the car for it. Maybe even competing for the drivers' championship. So we're looking for that, and we're rooting for Seb. But moving into the top 10 shootout of Q3, you have Sainz coming in 12th place with the Renault, Perez in 9th place with the Racing Point, and then Norris in 8th place with the McLaren Renault as well. So Esteban Ocon in 7th, Danny Rick in 6th, Alexander Albon in 4th, and Charles Leclerc in 4th. So Ferrari engines looking fast, at least for Charles. I don't know about anybody else, but Charles using everything he's got for that car and showing his worth. And Alexander Albon staying in 5th place, so keeping it tight with the pack. So I find that very interesting. And then the Renault power engines competing in the top 10, which we love to see, and everything's going on there. So for the pole lap by Valtteri Bottas, you have a 125.269. So that's a fast lap. That is a fast lap. And behind him, Lewis Hamilton, and then Max Verstappen in 3rd. So Lewis Hamilton 2nd, not getting his pole that he wanted, but he does end up, spoiler alert, pause it here if you don't want to hear, or skip ahead 5 seconds, that he does win his 92nd Grand Prix actually. So that was nice to see. All right, so now moving into the race, pulling up the notes here. Let's start this. So the first big event that happens is Kimi hits George Russell in turn 1 around lap 15 and breaks his rear suspension, and that leads to a puncture in his tire. So not only is his rear suspension broken, but it also causes puncture on his tire, which leads to a DNF for him. Albon also tried to pass Kvyat, but didn't pass him before he went back on his racing line. So he was driving and then tried to pass him, but cut over too early. I don't know what the issue was there, but that led to a did not finish. Bottas was losing power, and for the first time this season did not finish. So that was a little bit disappointing, but it makes the race even more interesting, as we'll go on to see. So you had Bottas with this power issue, and the Mercedes had to step out. They've been having trouble. I wouldn't say trouble all season because they've been crushing it, but they've been having slight mishaps, you would call it, this season. And this race, it did not go well for them. But Kimi gets a penalty on lap 22 for his collision with Russell, and that's a 10-second penalty, so he has to serve that. But he does manage to get up into 12th place by the end of the race. So Ocon takes the escape road on lap 23 He lost his braking in gears, so braking gears are controlled by hydraulic fluid, hydraulic pressure, and it was a hydraulic issue that he had. So he had to retire around lap 22, I said. Lap 23, he had to retire. Albon gets a 5-second penalty with this cutback with Kvyat, but that is a drive-through, so he gets that. He has that penalty, but he goes back for the drive-through when he takes his pit stop. Unfortunately, during lap 25, he does retire, and the team just said, that's that. You've caused enough damage, I guess. You're done. You're just done. Sad to see him go. He qualified really well. I think he could have gone on to contend for podiums, as we see Bottas fall back, but it's just disappointing to see him leave. So Norris on lap 26 says that he's losing power when he was in P3, so podium positions, maybe second podium for the season. And then the engineer stated that there was an issue in his power unit sensor, so that was the issue that was causing him a lap loss of power. On lap 30, 4 laps later, he complains again about the power and comes into the pits. We would think that it may have something to do with the steering wheel. That was not the case. They did not change out the steering wheel, but he gets frustrated. He's a bit of a character sometimes. He's funny, but he does get frustrated many times, and that leads him to get upset with his engineers, and he was very upset. But on lap 44, he pulls off and retires from the race. He's just done with it. He can't have anything, and that had a safety car, and basically everyone pitted, mostly the top three, which would be Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen, and Checo. So that was the top three. And the safety car, we had a bit of a issue, conflict with the safety car, because the safety car was keeping very slow, and to let the lap cars get out of the way. But the top three were complaining about cold tires. Cold tires are a big issue in this race, in this day and age. And although Lewis Hamilton, his Mercedes, does have the DAS system, dual axis steering, it can still be quite a prominent issue with everybody else, and still him, if they're too cold. And on lap 50, when the safety car was ended, everyone was locking up from cold tires, but they continued through the race, and they were able to get it done and put on a nice race for us, which we enjoy. So that was all the action, and that was pretty fun there. But so going through the finishing results, we have fast racing here, close racing, and the difference between some of these racers at points to get those final results were just incredible. This is a summary, of course, so we do go over those highlights. But if you guys have not checked out the action this year, it's just incredible. So Nico did incredible. I have to give it to him. He went from 20th to 8th place. He got 4 points for the team. They weren't expecting 4 points. They were probably expecting 0 points. No points they were expecting from him. This is incredible. Hands down, one of the best comeback drivers, I guess you would say, I've ever seen. This is unprecedented territory that we're in right now, and the fact that he can come out there, get a call, say he had a heart attack. Not really, though, because he was so scared and so startled by the call, and then come out Sunday and set a fast time and 4 laps, or 4 points for his Racing Point team. That's incredible. If the team managers don't see it, he deserves a seat. There's seats at Haas, and there's seats almost everywhere that are still available. He deserves that seat. If they don't see that, I don't know what they're talking about. At least offer it to him. If he doesn't want to race, he doesn't want to race. That's his choice. He wanted to start a family or something of that sort, he said. But he deserves that. he really does deserve that seat and that opportunity. But moving down, we'll have Kvyat in 15th place, Latifi in 14th, Magnussen in 13th, Räikkönen in 12th, and Seb in 11th. So Seb, no plus or minus. Kimi, 12th place, so not too bad. And then you have Kvyat, which just had a horrible race. Sad to see him not do well, but you have those days sometimes. Giovinazzi, Gio, had a nice race, up to 10th, first point for his Alfa Romeo racing team. So Ferrari doing well. Roman Grosjean has 2 points in 9th place, so still doing incredible for the team and doing wonders there. And then Nico Hulkenberg, I would say my driver of the day, who did incredible. And I believe he was the FIA driver of the day with those 4 points, 20th to 8th. That's incredible. So you have all those guys just pounding it out, showing that they have what it takes to be an F1. You don't usually see that. You see them, a lot of maybe plain F1 fans think that, oh yeah, they're bad drivers. They don't understand that they have less cars, and the fact that they can get all this energy out of the cars is just incredible, and contend with the I guess you would say midfield range, and the driver experience is there. Unfortunately, Roman Grosjean is leaving, so peace to you, man. Peace to you, Mr. Grosjean. But it's been a fun time these past 5 years, and we love what you've done, and hate to see you go. Charles Leclerc dropping down to 7th, though, only 6 points. Pierre Gasly in 6th, so pushing his car limits. Carlos Sainz in 5th, and Checo in 4th. So that's the top. Now the top 3. Lewis Hamilton gets his 92nd victory, tying Michael Schumacher, and Max Verstappen comes in 2nd, and Daniel Ricciardo gets his first podium since 2018. First podium with Renault team. He's leaving this year. Gotta get one podium with the team, and he gets it done. I applaud him. He is incredible job pushing that car, and now his team principal has to get a tattoo. So that's pretty fun, I guess. What would you call it? It's not a bribe. It's more like incentivize. He incentivized him, and that his team principal has to get a tattoo. So that's pretty interesting. But he's up there in the drivers' championship, doing pretty well so far for his team and for himself. He's 4th, the Aussie man himself, with 80 points, 5 clear of Charles Leclerc, and 6 clear of Checo Perez, and Lando Norris is 15 clear of him, but he's also like 82 clear of Max Verstappen. So wide gap between him and Verstappen, but showing that his midfield car can contend with the big boys, and that's always nice to see. So that has been going on, and we're happy for him. I think he's been doing great, and we want to see what he has in store for us next year, and what every F1 driver has in store for us next year. So guys, that wraps up the Sunday breakdown. That's everything that we have for you today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys stay safe, are doing well, and we'll talk to you guys next time. As always, be good, have fun, man. Keep living your life, and peace.